fans. It's a Forge Audio Network. I'm Anthony Urciuoli, your digital host, and these are the three keys to the match. Forge FC taking on Mont-Royal Outremont in Canadian Championship preliminary round action. A tricky game for Forge, as head coach and technical director Bobby Smirniotis put it. Why? Because there are a lot of unknowns about their opponent, who play the Semi-Pro League in Quebec, the PLSQ. And a challenge for Forge here if they're not ready Wednesday night from 7 o'clock until whenever the game ends, 9 o'clock, whatever it is. They're looking for a complete 90-plus minute effort. And before we get to that, though, that is one of the keys. Spoiler alert. Let's start from the top, though. Key number one, up the tempo. Forge wants to play fast. They haven't really been able to reach that high octane tempo consistently this year. The one they've been used to playing at, the one that's made them very successful. Wednesday night, you're playing against a squad that's going to be excited. This might be the biggest match they play all year. For some of the players, the biggest match they've played of their careers. Because of that, Forge has to be ready from the jump. A match, they're going to have to match that tempo that Outremont brings. Forge, when they're playing fast, they're almost impossible to defend. I asked Forge head coach Bobby Smirniotis about their tempo, which I noticed was just a notch higher during training this week.
Tempo is one of the most important things from the beginning of training to the end of training. We like to get on the field, and from the moment we get going, we go until we stop, because the game is the exact same way. So there's not a lot of stoppages in training. There's not a lot of talking, and let's say in dead periods, a lot of it is in motion. We try and mimic the game as much as possible in training, and I think that's one thing that's getting better and better each week.
All right, that brings us to key number two, which is similar but different enough: intensity. Outremont going to bring a physical style of play. They're going to try to slow Forge down, frustrate them. There's probably going to be a lot of grabbing, a lot of aggressive tackling, and that's all coming. Most of it's coming from the visiting side. So if you're Forge, you want to be composed. You don't want to get frustrated, but also the best way to counter that is to just match it, if not take it even one notch higher. The intensity, Forge has to play through it, and they have to be able to give it as well. Key number three, details. Forge coach Bobby, he's been talking about it all week, really all season, but he really emphasized it. What an opportunity for Forge. They've wanted to clean things up. They've wanted to polish their game right down to their throw-ins. Specifically mentioned throw-ins. They want everything to be polished, and they do feel like they're going to get there at some point this year. This is a great opportunity against Outremont to work on those finer things, to play a complete game. Forge has felt like they've made too many mistakes, maybe taken some shortcuts in certain areas of the game. This is just a fantastic opportunity at home against Outremont for Forge to play a full 90 plus, right down to the finest detail. All right, those are the three keys for Forge FC if they take on Mont-Royal Outremont at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Kickoff scheduled for just after 7 o'clock in Hamilton. Get there early. $5 beers before kickoff. I will be there. Probably not near the beers. Not before the match anyway. But I'll be there at the match, and I hope to see you there.